a topic of conversations in the Astros Twitter community that Brian helps Michael Schwab lead. And there's a lot of communication.
Brian's a ghostwriter for us.
Yeah, you don't like it, dude. You see, you don't like it when false propaganda, dude. You see, it's not fun.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian Lalima, Apollo Dez. No producer Josh today, but we move forward. Astros take the series from the Twins. They conclude the series against the Mariners today. It's split at one game apiece, so they go into the rubber match. Dez, the offense still struggling a bit. Pitching has been pretty good. Spencer Arrighetti with a freak injury. He's going to be out probably 6 months. Dana Brown, I heard on the radio today, said that it was going to be. Did I say 6 months? Yeah, well, what I meant was he says 6 weeks, but it's probably going to end up 6 months because we know how it goes with the Astros injuries. But let's get into it, man.
Let's start with that. Start that.
It sucks, dude. That's a big blow to the rotation, man.
Huge blow. Because his last start wasn't great, but there's some kind of bad defense behind him. But the guy just is consistently going to strike out 7 to 10. He's going to give you 6 to 7 strong innings, and that pitching depth we talked about every year, it rears its head, and so Wesneski's going to have to shoulder a lot over this next, hopefully, 6 weeks. Ronel Blanco's have to step up. He didn't look very good at all against Minnesota.
No, he did not.
And then you have, this kind of the Gordon, Blue Ball, Gusto, whoever they roll with in the rotation to hold serve for a bit. And then you have Lance McCullers Jr., who you wanted to ease in, but now you're putting pressure on his elbow and him himself. So just a freak injury in batting practice to wear a liner.
How does this always happen with the Astros and their pitchers? I think of like freak injuries. Like there was an injury that Fromber had right before the All-Star game. I think it was either last year or year prior, where it didn't really necessarily affect, like he missed a start, but he like rolled his ankle coming off of the mound. Lance McCullers Jr. took a bottle to the elbow in a clubhouse celebration in the playoffs a couple years ago. Spencer Arrighetti getting hit by a ball in batting practice and breaking his thumb. And he's going to be out, quote unquote, 6 weeks. We'll actually see if that holds true. But I think the biggest concern for me with Arrighetti going down is the kid always seems to throw 6 or 7 innings. That helps your bullpen. That helps your rotation. That does so many different things that people don't really think about. And that's going to be a blow, man, because who knows? Let's say they give Gusto a couple starts. You think he's going to go 6 or 7 innings? Probably not. Lance McCullers Jr., he's waiting in the wind, right? Going through his final preparations down in AAA, AA, getting his starts, but he hasn't pitched in a game. Ceiling. Yeah, he hasn't pitched in a live game since November of 2022 in the playoffs. So he's not going to be able to probably go 6 or 7 innings. So the bullpen, the rotation already suffering a loss, dude. It sucks, man. It sucks. And I know we're both very high on Spencer Arrighetti. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but the Astros just collectively, what are they, 5-6 now?
5-6, chasing 2.5.
So again, it's early, but still, man, like how many times in the last 4 years that we've done this podcast together, how many times have we seen the Astros get off to slow starts, and then as it gets down the stretch, we're thinking, damn, you remember that series against the Twins where they split, or man, the Twins or the A's took 2 out of 3 from the Astros? Like this is what we're kind of seeing already, but the pitching staff as a whole has been pretty good, I would say. Bullpen's been pretty good. Taylor Scott, a little bit, it's still, again, it's still early.
This is where I'm at. The starting pitching and pitching in the pen has been very good to elite. The 5-6 record really doesn't say like the whole story. I think it's more on the offense of why that record's 5-6. But saying all that, it's going to land on the offensive shoulders to carry this kind of transitional period of the sense of you lost a starter that was already worked up. You have guys waiting in the ring, but they're not worked up, or they're not extended, or they're rookies.
Yeah.
Now the offense is really going to have to step up, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on the bullpen, a lot of pressure on the guys coming in to backfill that position. in the rotation. So what fixes all that is the offense hanging a 7 or 8 spot and making sure there's no stress, because right now there's nothing but stress and every out matters, because we saw it last night. It went 12 innings and a rock fight with the Mariners offense to win 2-1. And so that's kind of where my mind goes first. And then the second thing too is like with Spencer going down, we've seen time and year after year someone emerge. So maybe just another story of another arm emerging, just like how Spencer emerged last year, just how Ronel Blanco emerged last year, just how Javier emerged the year before, how Urquidy, all these guys have just been able to step up and emerge. Hopefully something like that happens. You get Spence back, and hopefully 6 weeks time he has to spin back up and get his longevity. So all in all, it's kind of just snake bit, I guess, is the best way to kind of feel the vibes. But the offense is going to have to carry the team a bit, and I'm telling you, two runs against the Mariners in 12 innings is not going to cut it. Somehow, some way, we're recording right now on 4/9. They have a day game here in a few hours, so we don't know how the series ended up. But if you can get out of Seattle with the series win, get the 500, get back to Houston, and let the offense go. Hopefully, a little road trip, come back home, less pressure, figure out and go. So,
hey, all right. Hey, before we kind of dive into like more of the offense and the struggles that we've seen, how is your feel 11 games in for this team?
Indifferent.
Yeah.
Something. I think the optimist in me still thinks like the West is not good, and 85 to 86 wins the division. There's something right here sitting on my shoulder. Oh, nice to be joining us today.
There he is, producer Josh. What's happening?
Nice to dude, he's wearing nice ass Jordans. He's coming in. We had to set up the cameras and do everything. Wow. This was thank goodness Gabe came.
Man, dude, I feel like this is like a throwback to 2021, man.
It is. Oh, yeah. I forgot to turn the lights on. My bad. I forgot the lights. But I feel like 81 and 81 is just sitting on the shoulder whispering 81, 81, 81. I don't know. I don't have it's boring.
It is okay.
It's boring. It's boring. It's boring. Yeah, there's no spice. There's no team identity. There's no
flair, man. Like
bland.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm not panicked. I agree. I think the AL West is not very good. It's just blah, just kind of boring, man. Like this brand right now of Astros baseball is just boring. And of course, it's going to happen with no Tucker, even though he wasn't the big flair guy. But no Bregman. Lance is still making his way back. You get some fire out of him. But then other than that, like, who's the guy? Jordan, obviously. Altuve still there. Jeremy Pena, dude. And this is where we can segue into kind of the offensive struggles. So where do you want to start? You want to start with Yainer Diaz and his .061 batting average and an OPS of 200?
Before we deep dive, I wanted to say the offense stepped up on Sunday against the Twins. Took a series when they were dead in the water.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When they were absolutely dead in the water.
Yeah.
Saying that, 11 games in, it's been we can dissect it because it hasn't been nice. It's Jose Altuve and everyone else, and it's if you look at metrics, you look at swing speed, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, have you seen Jeremy Pena's baseball savant page? I'm so bullish on the guy. I know the stats. I know the stats say 558 OPS and 154 average.
Yeah.
This is the most red I've seen since the stock market this morning. Like this is his savant page is good.
Dude, that was a sick reference, bro.
You like that one, dude?
Stock market, dude. Everybody knows those references.
Yeah, dude. Thanks.
Sick, dude. Sick. Thanks for bringing up the stock market right now.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude.
A good reminder.
Bring some levity.
Yeah, appreciate that. But I mean, I'm just looking. I have not looked at the baseball savant page. I mean, I know I'm a big stat guy, so I gotta ease up on it sometimes. But Jose Altuve is leading the team in home runs. He's got 3. Yordan Alvarez has 1. He's hitting a .189 with an OPS of 630. You've got Christian Walker hitting a .156 with an OPS of 418. Hey, Victor Caratini, look at him. Steady Eddie, man. Get that dude in the lineup more. 267, 600 OPS, baby. Come on now.
Maybe start giving him some starts behind the dish.
Yeah.
Let Yiner DH. Hey, move your all-world franchise player from left field to second base and put the big guy in left field. I think that roster construction kind of fits.
That does kind of fit.
What I mean?
Jordan hits better in left field anyways. Yiner Diaz, it is atrocious. 0.061 average, 200 OPS, an on base of $139. And it's not even, he's not snake bit. He's not barreling balls up. His at-bats right now are just not good. They are ugly, out in front on balls. My gosh, man, they are. It's not what I expected at all. I thought, man, this kid is going to be one of the top with all stats, home runs, on base, everything, and we just haven't seen it yet from Yiner Diaz. And then your guy, Jake Myers, check him out, baby.
My guy,
280 average,
hey,
717.
Don't scare it, dude. Don't scare it away. Don't scare it away.
Look out! I might be buying lunch. I doubt it, though. He'll probably fall off a cliff like he always does, making routine plays in center. Everyone wants to be like, oh, my God, sprint speed, covering ground. He's actually a really, really good center fielder.
20% catch probability on that catch.
That is good. That's fine.
Look how big time he is. He shows up late, doesn't set anything up, leaves us out to the wolves. We get it set up barely, and then sits down and just acts like nothing. Unbelievable. But
unreal. 20% catch rate. Is that what you said, Josh?
20%
catch probability on
this podcast is actually recording right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 20%. Yeah.
20%. This is actually an active episode.
He's a really elite defender. But when Jake Myers is basically leading your team in hitting outside of Jose Altuve, that's a fucking problem. And we all know it. That's a problem. You know, Dez always says Seattle's a problem. The Astros offense is a problem.
I just sent y'all a link to a graph. I know how much you like math and graphs and everything.
I'm a big graph guy, man.
But if you look at that graph, the Astros are on the graph. It's one of those what do you call it? Square
graph. Square
graph.
I don't know.
7 weenie chart.
Yeah. It's the top left side is good pitching, bad hitting. Top right is good pitching, good hitting. So, you know, the Astros are at the bottom of hitting with a team OPS under 600. But they are
terrible.
It's not ideal.
Have one of the lowest team ERAs.
Okay, yeah. I want to sort of wade into this because it's a topic of conversations in the Astros Twitter community that Brian helps Michael Schwab lead, and there's a lot of communications.
Brian's a ghostwriter for us.
Yeah, you don't like it, dude. You see, you don't like it with false propaganda, dude. You see, it's not fun.
No, it's not fun. It's not fun. First of all, let me clarify. I would rather go play in traffic than be a part of the Astros Twitter community. And I would kick my own ass if anyone tried to hire me to write for Astros Twitter community or to be a moderator, which you and I, Dez, were both asked to be moderators. And we both said politely, no. God, no. So let's get that straight. That was good, though. I like that. That was good.
That was good. That was good.
That was
probably
good.
one of my best.
That was a zinger, man. Good one.
The conversation of the hitting coaches, and I am very I think there's a miscommunication, misacknowledgement of what hitting coaches do in the show. They're not like offensive coordinators. It's not football. They're not drawing up game plans and like scheming plays and doing XYZ. 97.5% is on the players.
Yeah.
Okay. The other 2.5% is actually on the coaches, but there's not. I mean, obviously there's philosophies and every hitter is going to be different. And hitting coaches are there to keep the guys almost like gutters in a bowling alley, to keep them in the lane, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I don't know how to say this. What I've been told and what we've been told over the philosophy over the years is it's all on the guys, and it's got to keep them on the guardrail. And they do this soft parenting where they're like, okay, go figure it out. If you think you know more better than me or whatever it is, like go do it. I mean, these guys are very, very good at what they do. Saying that, also the extra set of eyes is they're there to like, hey, Christian, you're spinning out, the front hip's going, the shoulder's going. That's where you're not covering the other third of the plate. Hey, Yiner, you're swimming in your head. Yeah. You've done this a million times. You've shown that you could be in the show. Go sit on the bench, find yourself, and get right back in. Like it's not like this like they're not Steve Sarkisian drawing up 75 plays to beat Alabama. Like it's not that. Like so we just I need to nip that in the bud right now because we can have the conversation of the offense as a team as a whole is underperforming and bad, right? We can have that conversation. We can have it in September. Yeah. Like not 11 games in. And I think last year we had like the 5th or 7th best WRC plus as an offense. It fell on the players. We could not hit with runners in scoring position. That's not the hitting coaches. The hitting coaches can't call up a flea flicker and be like, okay, this is how we get this guy in from second base. No, it falls on the guys. So and a lot of that's just bad luck. Last night in the 11th inning, Brendan Rodgers hits the ball 108 miles an hour down the line. Bases loaded. Would break the game open. Somehow Dylan Moore fields it off his knee, off his front foot, touches third, throws him out. Like sometimes it's just shit luck too. Like so that's just one of the one things out of it's just drives me insane.
It's not even just with the hitting coaches. Like this has been a topic of conversation amongst Astros fans over the last several years with pitching as well. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten into arguments with people over the bullpen or starters or closers or, oh my gosh, why would Joe Espada go with him? Why would Dusty Baker go with him? Blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the pitching side of things, there are decisions that managers and pitching coaches collaborate on. But as far as execution, that's on the player and the player only. If you call a slider down and away to a left-handed hitter and you're a left-handed pitcher and Josh Hader, and he hangs it middle in to a lefty and he knocks it out of the ballpark, is that on Josh Miller? No, that's on Josh Hader. Execute your fucking pitch. So it's the same thing with the hitting coaches. If this continues, if this trend continues, and we get into August or even early September, then we can have another conversation, a hard conversation. Well, maybe the philosophy and maybe the things that they are doing to try to get these guys to make their adjustments isn't working. We've seen it over the last year and then all the way in through 75% of this season. Okay, let's have a conversation. But people are so quick in this fan base to blame the hitting coaches and to also blame the pitching coaches. Do you know how many times I've seen fire Josh Miller, fire Murph, because guys are leaving middle. Rafael Montero is walking the leadoff guy 92% of the time. You think that's on Josh Miller? Now, could you make a case? Why would you put him in that situation? Okay, that's a different discussion. But at the end of the day, the pitchers throw the baseball, the hitters swing the bat. That's execution, and that's on the players. Simply put, the hitters for this Astros team just have to be better. You have to be better. Now it's up to the hitting coaches to get with that hitter, to go through the charts, to go through that iPad, to look at mechanics, to look at BP swings, to look at tendencies. That's where the hitting coaches come in to work with the hitter. But the big thing in baseball, you know this just as well as I do, Des, you can do everything right in BP, but if you don't take that BP swing and put it into your game plan for game day and for your in-game at-bats, it's a lost cause. 100%. You have to make your adjustments in the box. And for people that are blaming these hitting coaches for right now, 11 games in, I'm not hearing it. Fucking stop. In September, August, okay, if this continues, let's have that conversation.
If that conversation's month to month instead of series to series, then obviously there's a bigger problem, and we'll discuss it. Yeah. But like you said, 11 games in, and I think where the micro and the macro of it, everyone was like, "Oh, Christian Walker's hitting the ball hard, right? He's hitting the ball hard. He's hitting the ball hard. He's finding gloves." We said it. Now he's not taking really good swings and not hitting the ball hard. He's striking out. That's the slippery slope of, especially in an 11 game sample size. When you get in this little slump, essentially you got to swing yourself out of it, because it went from hitting the ball hard to gloves to hitting the ball still outs in gloves, not finding grass, to, okay, I'm pressing. You could tell Christian Walker's pressing. He's chirping umpires. He's slamming his helmet down. He's visibly...
He's had some bad calls his way, too.
Yeah. And it's just kind of... It compounds. there's like I said, there's not a flea flicker, there's not a reverse, there's not a halfback screen to get him off it. No, it's him. It's his battle that he's gonna have to do, and he's a consummate pro that he's gonna figure it out. And God, I mean, I'd rather this happen now than in September. Like, we'll get it out of the way now. It pitchers come out of spring training ahead of batters.
Exactly.
100%.
You know, I think there's also a conversation that could be had at some point where, and I'll use Bill Belichick for an example over in the NFL for the Patriots. His speech to players and his relationship at some point hit a lull, and it was time to move on. We're talking about one of the greatest coaches of all time, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. At some point, those two had to separate and move on from each other. So I think there could be a conversation at some point that maybe Cintron, maybe Snicker, maybe they don't, get the message across as well to some of these guys that have been there. Maybe they're not connecting as well. Maybe they need some fresh blood in that dugout. I think you can make that case. But as far as execution, like I said, man, that's on the players. You have to make those adjustments. You have to take better swings. You have to have better pitch selection. You know what I mean? But if we just want to do the micromanaging of a hitting coach with this team right now, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, if it were up to Astros Twitter and just fans of any fan base, teams would be it's a 162 game season. Teams would be changing hitting coaches and pitching coaches 5-6 times a season. They'd be like, oh, let's try somebody else. Oh, let's try somebody else. Yeah, like that's just not 100%. You can't go off the whim like that. And that's speaking on Christian Walker. He was hitting the ball hard, and we said it like he doesn't need to change anything about his approach. He just needs to keep hitting the ball hard, and it'll come through. It seems like he got in his own head a little bit with that and has changed his approach a little bit, and it's harming,
There's been 362 at-bats by the entirety of the Houston offense. 362. We're complaining about 362 at-bats. And I get it. Last year left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. Obviously, one of the games was against Skubal, who won the Triple Crown and the Cy Young.
Who's one of the best pitchers in the big leagues. If not the best.
Last year was legitimately, we couldn't get runners in. Saying that, it's a new year, new everything. I can understand the frustrations there, but you're in a spot where the literally only way to go is up. Christian Walker's going to be Christian Walker.
Exactly.
Jordan Alvarez is going to be Jordan Alvarez. Jose Altuve is going to keep being Jose Altuve. He's carrying a lot, but he's still. Yainer Diaz is not going to hit 091. If that's the case, then we're in a lot of trouble. Jeremy Pena is going to hit better than 153 or whatever, 214. Isaac Paredes batting 214. Yeah,
after all this, they're 5-6.
Yeah, you get the 500.
It's not like they're 1 and
this hell or high water. Find a way.
Right I think looking at this schedule coming up, they have a game today against Seattle. We're recording this before the game. Then they have 3 with the Angels and 3 with St. Louis.
4-2. Go 4-2.
Should be 4-2.
There's 7 games. Counting today to be 7 games.
Oh, go 5-2.
I was going to say I would be willing to bet that they're going to be 11-7 after that run. Which, if you're 11-7 halfway through April, I will take that. And then, like you're talking about, the regression of the mean, these hitters are going to come back to their normal,
and they're going to have to. We talked about it to start the show. Like with Spencer going down, it's going to be on the offense to if 6 weeks time when Spencer's back. Do you want to be still in this dance? Do you still want to be in the conversation of winning the West and getting the 1 or 2 seed? Which I think the mindset needs a shift. I think the mindset does not need to be winning the West. I think the mindset needs to be to get the bye. Yeah. Get the bye. I know. Dana goes on Brian's former employer. Espada says it all the time when Chandler puts a mic in, they're trying to win the West. I understand that's the coach speak and the GM speak and go get the 1 or 2 seed.
95 wins should be the minimum goal.
Winning the West didn't work. That. Winning the West was great last year, but they fucked around and you still went into a wild card series. Yeah. Against the one team that we knew would be able to beat them in a 2 out of 3 series.
Yep.
So no, I get it. Yeah. First things first, win the division. Well, I mean, yeah, but also you should be locking up the 1 or 2 seed. Yeah. That's what you should look at. fuck, man, you want that 1 or 2 seed because good God, we saw what happened last year. And I really, as a fan, I don't want to see that shit again this year. That was miserable. Dude.
Yeah.
Just from a fan perspective, like, my God, man, not being able to watch the Astros throughout October was fucking boring, dude.
Half the city was either in their cubicle or stuck in traffic before they realized the Astros were eliminated last year.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah. Straight bullet towards corporate America. You know, you sitting back there, you're in the dungeon. You know, you got a mic in front of you.
Big Court Brian is what they call him.
You know, you got the perm looking nice and tight today. All black outfit. You mean business, dog? That mic, that's your funeral, cuz all black. Shout out corporate America. Yeah, how about that, huh?
So Hayden Wesneski was a pretty good pickup.
I was going to say, yeah, y'all talked about.
We didn't talk about Hayden. We talked about how he step up.
Friend of the program, by the way.
Friend of the program. I would have sent him out for the 8th inning. I would have sent Framber out yesterday for the 8th inning or the 7th inning. But you take those Hayden, 7 innings, I think 6 punchies. Yeah, his stuff's spinning. His stuff looks really, really good. I know you were coaching Brian, so I don't know if you got to see his Seattle start, but he was just in a rocking chair. And obviously that offense has their problems as well over there. I'm saying that they're going to put a 10 spot today on Hunter, but he had them in a rocking chair. He looked comfortable. And the one thing I'm seeing, and kind of with Spencer too, last year was the question of controlling the spin, right? When you're a spin monster and you're spinning everything, sometimes if you get a patient team, the walks, and we talked about the whip. So with Hayden, obviously it's not like he's a rookie. He's been in the show, right? He was with the Yankees, now with the Cubs, now with the Astros. To see him could command and control the new pitch he's throwing in the arsenal, the changeups, the curveballs with that elite spin, it's been a pleasant surprise to see. And if he keeps doing that, his savant page is red as well, and man, that's going to be a really, really good, hopefully stabilizer in the rotation while the rookies get spun up or Lance gets spun up, whoever kind of takes over Spencer's role.
Yeah, with Wesneski into the rotation, starting this season in the rotation after coming here from Chicago, the Cubs, he's going to have to be now. Like, there's no choice, man. Like, you have to continue to give that kid starts, because with Eric Getty going down, you really don't have much else, man. So you better roll with Wesneski. And I caught a little bit some of the highlights of his stuff, and I'm pretty impressed so far, man. I know small sample size, but it looks like it plays into whatever, like everything that the Astros try to do with their pitching staff. It looks like he's a perfect fit. So continue to give him starts, because with Eric Getty going down, like we started the show, Des, it sucks losing him. But if you can get good quality starts from Wesneski and the offense kind of figures it out, they should be able to, kind of hold serve, or at least get above 500, win a couple series. And then Lance will get back. We'll see what his role is. We'll see how he pitches. And then hopefully Eric Getty. I just hope, man, it's not one of those damn scenarios where we hear week in and week out, oh, Eric Getty's close. He's close.
He's close.
He's close.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, he's a grinder. Close. He's doing everything he can to get back to the rotation, but we're not going to push him. We're not going to rush it. And the next thing you know, it's fucking July.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I think it'll be June. When he's like fully sped up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a thumb. It's go grip a baseball. Everyone watching, go grip a baseball.
It's tough.
It's your thumb.
Yeah.
What a freak accident.
It just
sucks, dude. God, it sucks, man.
I don't want to say it. Yeah.
Speaking on recovering pitchers, it took me forever to find it. Lance on Saturday went 1 2/3, gave up 2 earned runs, home run, 1 K. But
how many pitches?
50 pitches.
Okay.
So he's probably 3 more.
Probably 3 away. He's
starting this Saturday for Sugarland.
He's probably like week 2.5 of spring training, I would assume.
Yeah. They're probably going to want him to go 2 full starts. 2 full, 80, 90 pitches.
I'm going to say he's 4 outings away from making his way back up. Whatever those outings look like. I'm just saying 4.
So it might look
you think it may.
Yeah.
It might look like him and Spencer
within a month window.
Within a few weeks window of each other coming back. So you just gotta hope that the guys in there right now, since can stay healthy, can continue to hold down the fort, and then your offense can come up and help you.
So we actually have to get Brian's, because Brian can't be on the live show. We have to get your nom for Dog of the Week offline, so we can present that on Friday. But
God,
I do want to shout out y'all's boy. Both of you guys have been on this pod, Mr. Okert.
Oh yeah,
Steven Okert.
I like him.
Okert, he's a dog.
Yeah. He's a dog, bro.
Dude,
give me more of him.
A lot of confidence.
Yeah,
a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
I found a tweet from myself from 2023 where I wanted him on the Astros.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, a new ball.
New ball.
How about that? And they got him for like nothing. Like that's a steal. I knew he was gonna be a steal.
Yeah.
Shout out the whole bullpen last night.
Yeah. That was
outside of Taylor Scott allowing one run. Everybody else came in very high leverage situations. You had basically 4 closing setup man situations, and they all just came through.
Hey, Josh Hader. 2
innings again.
Nasty. Don't like him throwing 2 innings.
No, but hey, man, whatever.
In back-to-back road series.
That's what happens when your offense can't put up more than 2 runs.
Yeah, I guess I will say this bullpen and Josh Hader, Brian Abreu, the bullpen as a whole has been pitching in a lot of high leverage situations early. And you know what calms your nerve in high leverage situations? Bloody Mary mix from Zing Zang. You Zing, I Zang. Dez has got it right there. Bam, right there. Ready to drink, ready to go. Find it at your local grocery store. Zing Zang. Shout out, being a proud sponsor of Beyond the Diamond podcast.
All right.
That was good.
You like that one?
You know what? Great. Actually, what we're going to do for the day games, go to Big City Wings. One of their 13 locations. I'm going to get a burger because it's Burger Wednesday.
Josh loves Burger Wednesday.
Josh loves Burger Wednesday.
Burger Wednesday, dude. Sourdough bun.
But the cool thing about Big City Wings is when I'm not watching the Astros tomorrow because it's an off day on Thursday when you guys are all watching this, I'm going to watch around one of the Masters.
Perfect.
And I'm going to be wearing my Azalea Kobe Stevens shirt.
There you go.
In my Kobe Stevens joggers.
Yeah.
Watching some golf at Big City Wings. Drinking.
Zing Zang.
My Zing Zang.
Kobe Stevens Golf Apparel, KobeStevens.com. Check it all out. Proud sponsors of Beyond the Diamond podcast.
I'll be wearing my Azalea shirt. I'll be wearing my Azalea shirt on the Friday live show.
That might have been the best segue we've done.
We are
segue cubed.
Yeah, dude. We're kind of rolling with that, man. We're getting better at segues, man. Proud of you guys. Way to go. Way to go. Way to show up on time too, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's give it up.
Kangaroo court.
That's
a kangaroo court
one time in 4 years.
So I know. I was waiting for something.
Dude, you should have seen the first 2 minutes of the episode when it was so blurry on the camera. We were just rolling with it. Thank goodness Gabe came.
Hey, you asked me my nomination for Dog of the Week.
Yes.
Oh man.
This is your clip, and you just bleep it out.
I guess I'm going to have to – I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to have to give it to Jake Myers.
You gaslight. You are trying to throw him off. You're trying to scare –
man.
Dude, we're at a nature preserve, man. And we have a perfect shot of this beast, and you're just you're making noise to scare it away. I know exactly what you're doing. Oh.
Hey, he's hitting 280. He's hitting 280, 717 OPS. Making Gold Glove caliber catches out in center field. Jake Myers is my Dog of the Week. Everybody knows I'm a big Jake Myers fan.
Everybody knows this.
Everyone knows this.
You can't wait to have him on the show. So
yeah,
so you can.
It's gonna be awkward.
Yes, sir, Mr. Myers.
Dude, if I please, can we please get him on the show? Like, I would love to.
You don't know if he wants to, dude.
Yeah, he probably
said something. I don't know if you've seen what you've said, but you've said some things.
Yeah, I've said some things. That's fine. Look, man, it's called motivation, man, even though he doesn't give a flying fuck about any of these fans. But, when we had Trey Cabbage on and we were going through, the highlights, and you were like, well, Dez, Dez was like, well, Brian, you might have talked about his strikeout rate, but, that's fine. And then he just kind of looked at me. He's like, hey, man, I got to get lower. I'm not sure if Jake Myers would, if we were to pull up my tweets about Jake Myers and his, me talking about his helmet not fitting and he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I don't know how he would react, man.
I should gift him a giant helmet. That could be funny.
Be hilarious.
Funny bit.
We'll just make Jake read your tweets to you.
Yeah.
That's the content.
Jake reads mean tweets from Brian. Right in front of him. And Brian
That will make Brian throw his phone into the
Dude,
goal.
no.
He'll never tweet. He'll be so
Yeah.
gun shy.
No, dude, I would. No, dude, shoot or
See you
shoot. Shoot or shoot, man. You got to keep going. I think that, hey, look, I would own it. I would tell him straight up. I'd be like, look, man, you're sitting there as a big leaguer. I'm sitting as just a peon, dude. Like I'm a peasant, man. What the hell do I know?
Look,
you know,
we've all done it. I had to tell Dusty to his face, man to man, that I said some tweets to him, and we just drank tequila. So
yeah, you drink beer, and
like sometimes you just find common ground. I checked Jake Odorizzi. I'm going to put him on a rocket.
Shit, a lot of guys on rockets to out of this earth.
Yeah,
I did, and you know what I did
dudes.
every single time? I went and rescued them. I went. I got my crew.
Rescue mission.
I got my crew off an oil rig.
I was gonna say, is this
said,
Armageddon? Are you quoting Armageddon right now? Is that what we're doing?
Thank you for watching and
that
listening to Beyond the Diamond podcast. We're gonna get out of here.
Let's get out of here, dude.
Watch movies.
We'll see you for the live show Friday.
Peace.
Go Stros.
Peace. Love you guys. Oh, watch movies.
Oh, that's funny.